The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
The David Pakman Show, mostly supported by individual members. Please go to davidpakman.com/membership and sign up today to support the show. I know, Louis, at this point, you've got like a membership for every resident of Massachusetts or something, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's like, what, 3 million?
No, it's way more than that.
Is it?
Let's talk about Louis thinking only 3 million people live in Massachusetts.
How many people is it?
Is it 9 or 12, Natan?
I think it's almost 7.
Almost 7. Very good. Yeah. So none of us.
Both of you got it right.
Listen, I see plenty of people walking around all the time. It's got to be millions. That I know.
Right.
There was a World Oncology Forum of some kind. I don't know if that's actually the name of the meeting, but that aside, it was a group of oncologists from all over the world who got together to talk about progress on cancer research and finding a cure for cancer. And it turns out that the consensus is that progress against cancer is actually stalling, in part because there is a strong push for profits, according to the doctors that are actually at the ground level on this. The latest targeted cancer drug, so to back up, several years ago there was the idea that there was going to be a new series, a new type of cancer drugs, which would very specifically target specific cancer cells and basically evaporate or dissolve the cancer. Progress on those has stalled, and that was really where a lot of the cancer experts a few years ago thought the future was going. And this hasn't happened. Instead, those therapies have brought a few extra months of life, but they're not drastically changing the outlook for a lot of types of cancer. And Douglas Hanahan of the Swiss Institute for Experimental Cancer Research said if he was asked the question, are we winning right now the war on cancer, he would say no, flat out no. Now, the most concerning part, because for years I've been talking about my concerns that if and when we really get to, and some people, a lot of people who believe that there's a lot of conspiracy here, believe that there's already a broad stroke cure for cancer, but that it has been covered up and it's kind of a conspiratorial thing. I have not participated in that. What I have participated in saying is that I believe because cancer is such a huge industry, that it wouldn't surprise me at all why corporate interests might want to delay or prevent a blanket cure for cancer, if such a thing would ever be possible, from being developed, because so much money is being made off of treating and sometimes curing cancer.
Right. Yeah. I don't really subscribe to the conspiracy theory, but I will say that I do believe that there probably is, for most forms of cancer, a pretty simple solution out there somewhere that either we have yet to discover or we have yet to develop on. I don't know.
Natan, what's your thought about this? It's not a conspiratorial point of view, but just kind of like a very pro, corporate power will supersede all point of view.
I disagree that that will cause the profit motive of keeping people in treatment is going to cause a cure to be covered up and not go to the public, because whatever pharmaceutical company finds a cure for any cancer is going to make a killing off of that. And certainly if people keep getting cancer, which will happen unless we start preventing cancer, there's going to keep being a market for the cure.
But the thing is, hold on a second. Let's talk about that for a second.
It's not just the pharmaceuticals.
Let's talk about that for a second. So basically what you're saying is the one that will put that cure out is going to make a killing at the expense of many others starting to reduce their incomes. This is like just asking how, when you talk about investment philosophy, do you want a 50% chance of never losing more than 15% in a year? Or do you want, a 90% chance of losing everything, but you've got that small chance that you'll multiply your earnings by 100, right? If all the companies together say, well, listen, we don't know which one of us is going to come up with a cure, so let's just keep people in treatment and all make money. I don't know. That doesn't sound crazy.
I don't think that's at all in the ballpark of the reason why we haven't seen better cures. I think the simple reason is that there's not a political will to put the money in for the research. The government needs to put a lot of money. If you take just a small fraction of what we're spending on unnecessary defense, for example, into cancer research, you're going to see the type of development that we were hoping we were going to get by now.
The last thought on this, Louis, another thing that came out of this World Oncology Forum is that now we are starting to see a huge financial divide in terms of access to resources and treatment. Case in point, the divide is such that in Canada, almost 90% of children with leukemia can hope to survive, while in poor countries of the world, 90% of children with leukemia are expected to die. Very clear issue of when treatment does exist, access to it based on inequality is leading to drastically different outcomes.
Right.
All right. No disagreement there. I think any of us could have guessed that.
Right.